This is modern day Babylon, but let's go back to the year 565 BC to see a culture that writes in little wedges, a culture obsessed with astronomy and maths, even when they're under attack, where priests dress up as giant fish, all because they believe years ago fish-bird-human hybrids came to Earth and shared the secrets of civilization. And there's a giant flood that killed pretty much everything. Welcome to Ancient Babylon in 565 BC. This is the ancient Near East, here is the Neo-Babylonian Empire, and here is Babylon. So what's the story behind Babylon? Many years ago, Babylon used to be at the centre of an ancient empire under such rulers as Hammurabi. A few years pass and the Assyrians from the north start to take over and conquer the peoples of Babylonia. The Assyrian Empire makes way for the Neo-Assyrian Empire. Fast forward a few centuries until the Medes and the Babylonian peoples team up to revolt against their Assyrian overlords. The revolt spreads, and slowly the Babylonians conquer much of the Assyrian lands to establish the Neo-Babylonian Empire. The greatest king of this time was Nebuchadnezzar II. He's famous for two things. One, rebuilding Babylon into a great historical city. And two, his brutal conquests, including that time when the king of Judea refused to give Nebuchadnezzar more money. Yeah, that didn't go down so well. So, what to see in ancient Babylon? The first thing you'll see are the impressive city walls. There's a total of 8 gates, each named after a particular god, such as Shamash and Adad. But the greatest gate of all was the one dedicated to the mother goddess, Ishtar. Over the years, the gate has been built 3 times, each becoming more impressive than the last. At great expense, the gate was built in the latest technology of glazed blue bricks, the ultimate fashion statement of the time. The Ishtar Gate was also decorated with animals to ward off evil spirits, such as lions, bulls, griffins, and this thing called a mushashu. Yeah, that's freaky. Heading through the Ishtar Gate, you'll come to the palace of Nebuchadnezzar. This is where Alexander the Great would later die. Then it's on to the Hanging Gardens. Famed as one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, the structure is made of layered garden terraces with exotic plants from faraway lands. It was initially built for Nebuchadnezzar's wife to remind her of her homeland, and not the barren deserts of Babylonia. And obviously all these plants need a lot of water. So how did they do it? They could have used a shadoof, but it would have taken ages. They could have used a chain pump, or just got a fish person to use some magic. And finally, there's the Itaminanke, a giant ziggurat temple 90 meters wide and 90 meters tall, so big that you can see it from miles away. As the religious centre of the city, the fish people would be found at the top, leading the masses in worship, and also using their fishy powers to predict the future. So what to see outside of ancient Babylon? Head over to Nineveh, the old Assyrian capital in 630 BC, ruled by Ashurbanipal. He's inspired to develop Nineveh into a great city just like Babylon, so he creates a library to hold all the knowledge of the world. The walls are decorated with apkulu, the doorways are protected by guardian spirits called Lamassu, some having more than 4 legs. And Ashurbanipal would send people out looking for particular texts to fill his library, a bit like a shopping list. The best minds of the day would either move to Nineveh or be enslaved and forced to work in the library. No wonder people revolted against the Assyrians. What are the final scores for Babylon? Rivers, world wonders, legendary gates, ziggurats, palaces, walls, a city that changed history. It's getting a 4. If you're fine with enslaving mass populations, if you want to pray to fish, and blue is your favourite colour, then Babylon is the place for you.